Hi, Janine, back again. This one we're going to talk about trends, and we're going to talk about personal trends and personal, I suppose, elements to look at so that we can start to build a story of the future that makes sense. The ones I want to use for personal are just really spheres of thinking. So, what kind of trends are going to be active in the friends, in family, in health, in fashion, transport, in my home and my job? So if I want to think into the future, what kind of trends now are happening in the world of friends? And, there are changes that because young people are getting married later, that they live with friends. They live outside the home for longer. There's also all the friends that you have on Facebook, on Twitter, all those connecting kinds of places where you can connect to friends, some of whom you haven't actually met for real. This is pretty amazing. So that's one of the major trends in friends. So I'd like you to think about what that means for you. Has it changed your life? I know, for example, it's changed my children's lives because they did a little bit of their schooling in England, and so they have friends over there, and they've managed to keep up with them. And I can tell you, they wouldn't have done it without email and Facebook and all those things. So it's had a big impact. The other one is family. We know families are getting smaller, generally. So families are smaller. Families can be extended. They can be very complex. So you might have a small immediate family, but you can have a very large extended family because of the rates of second and third marriages, and you have a relationship with all these people, some kind of relationship. You can have a mother and a stepmother and a second stepmother, and then you have those that brothers and sisters in that way, and so it can make it quite complex, and this can get pretty hard to get through. So there's all those trends. So how do you what does family mean to you, and what's important in that? So let's start to think about that. What else do you notice about the new families? Health. What are the trends in health? Well, we know we're living longer in every area of the world except some of the countries in sub-Saharan Africa where HIV has affected their lifespans. We know more children are living through the first years of life. Women die less in childbirth. So all of these things are around health. Now in our world, what happens? Well, we know we're getting longer, living longer. So then, you have the issues around staying healthy. We know there's rampant obesity and issues in Australian society. What does that mean? What does that mean for me? What can I do about it for me? Those sorts of issues. So I'd just like you to think about it. Then there's areas around fashion. So what kind of fashions will be available in the future? Well, we can look in the technology area and see that there's going to be fabrics that can change colour according to your mood, fabrics that can self-clean, fabrics that don't need ironing, fabrics that really quite smart. What do you do when you've got smart fabrics on and your clothes are smart? That kind of thing. Or we've got really healthy, so you want organic materials. There's lots of choices in this future, but these are things that you can think about. And transport. What's going to change about transport? We know that in a world where carbon is such a problem, where greenhouse gases and climate change are really having a big impact, that the way that we get around has to change. So what will that mean? Are we going to take the bicycle? Are we going to share cars? Are we going to use public transport? And if you live in an area with poor public transport, what can you do to make sure that you get the kind of transport you need to get around? And well, we need transport. That's another one. In the future, maybe we don't need transport if we can all connect on Facebook and through virtually. What does that mean? The home. What kind of home will we live in? Um, if our population is increasing, is our dream of having a little house with a garden just not possible? What changes can happen? Um, what will my home be like? Maybe it will be, I'll live in units, but maybe we'll have a rooftop garden. Maybe we'll have, community gardens and spaces to live and play. What sort of things are going to be out there? So think about that. And the last one, really important. What kind of job will I want? What kind of jobs will be available in the future? To me, you're already taking the first step by taking a media makers course, because we all need to understand how to get our messages across, and if we can do them digitally and creatively, how do we capture people's attention? Really important stuff.